got home from work and I thought I would do a little bit of sewing and kind of see how much sewing I can get done after my 9 to 5 before it gets dark. And yes, don't mind my Christmas sweatshirt. The very first thing I do when I get home is get cozy and just get out of my work clothes. So right now I'm working on revamping one of the very first book sleeves I launched. This one is the Cherry Picnic, which is actually one of my favorite fabrics I've ever launched. I just really love cherry print, especially for spring and summer. I thought it'd be fun to relaunch a bunch of my original collection and offer them with the pockets. I feel like the pocket version is just a little more universal, so if you want to have a pocket, at least it's there for you to use. It is currently 5:25, so I should still have at least an hour and a half of light. So I'm gonna try and get through this, and then I really want to make a Cherry Picnic pencil case. I feel like that's gonna be so cute. For my other book sleeves in the original collection, I want to get some different linings for those. For example, this one is the Peachy Picnic, and I kind of want to stay away from the solid linings. I do think it's cute, it matches the peaches really well, but I love the look of having a design on the outside and the inside. Even if it's just the gingham, it just adds like more contrast, especially with it being Cherry Picnic. The like gingham plaid fits really well, and this one is obviously the Peachy Picnic. I think it would look really cute if I could find like a peachy gingham or just some kind of pattern lining for this one, as well as the strawberry one, to do some kind of design on the inside instead of having the solid fabrics. So not only am I revamping these to have the pockets, I also want to change the linings. So we'll save these ones for a later video, but I already love this combination, so we're gonna go ahead and make a small book sleeve with the pocket with the cherry fabric. Next week, which was actually supposed to be this week's video, but I just got caught up, we ran a bunch of errands and I didn't have time to film it. So hopefully next week we will film a little spring, like sewing spring wardrobe video. I got a bunch of new fabrics, so I'll give you a little sneak peek of all of that once we finish this book sleeve. But there's that so far. A couple new things I bought that I mentioned in my last video. I did go ahead and get one of these just to make it a little bit easier whenever I'm cutting fabrics, and I don't have to worry myself or any of you about cutting my finger with my rotary cutter. Kind of difficult to get used to because it's a different angle than putting my whole hand down. So I never really do any filming or sewing after work, more so because of the lighting. But now that we're in spring, we have extra lighting. It's pretty much light until like 7:30. Okay, I have my outer cherry fabric cut, so the two outer pieces and the pocket. I need to go ahead and get out the gingham. So I've been sharing with you all kind of like what books I'm reading, what shows I'm watching, and I did finish the first 3 Harry Potter full cast audiobooks, and I loved them. I rated all 3 5 stars. I have to wait until April 8th for my credits to renew on Audible before I can start Goblet of Fire. So I know in my last video I mentioned that we are watching Podark. Well, we finished that, and I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll start the, what is it? The Foresight Saga, which is also on Netflix. I've had a few TikToks pop up, so I'm wondering if they're listening to me, but I've had a few pop up and I think I want to try that. So maybe we'll do that next. Okay, I'm gonna wait for this to heat up. Another book that I actually just finished on my way home from work is My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. So it is a thriller, and I thought it was okay. I rated it 3 stars. I really like the beginning, like it grips you right from the start, and it kind of just a page turner. You want to know what's going to happen, but I feel like by the 60% mark it started going downhill for me. But I do feel like if you are a fan of Alice Feeney or you really love Frida McFadden, then you should give it a shot. I prefer her rock paper scissors thriller. I think that one was better, but I am wanting to get into more thrillers. I just fly through them so fast. I actually started this one yesterday morning and already finished it. So it was a page turner. So if you're looking for something to meet like a reading goal, or you just want a fast-paced thriller, then I do recommend Alice Feeney's books. And then a fantasy book that I'm wanting to start, I'm going to buddy read it with my mom, is We Who Will Die. I've heard really great things about it, and I haven't read a romantasy in quite some time. So I want to try that one. Of course, The Raven Scholar and Assassin's Apprentice that I just purchased and showed you all in last week's video. So I think I'm going to start the romantasy pretty soon, and then try and get to Raven Scholar and Assassin's Apprentice in April. So I'm going to quit yapping, get all of these ironed out, cut out the batting, and finish up this book sleeve, see how it looks, and then we can do the pencil case because I feel like that is going to be absolutely adorable. So something that I'm really noticing with this, because the gingham is dark, you can really see it through the cherry fabric. So I'm thinking we're just gonna go ahead and use the gingham, see how it looks when it's all together. Then I can decide if I need to do just a plain white for the pocket. There's the Cherry Picnic book sleeve. So unfortunately, I am gonna have to do probably a white lining for the pocket because you can really see that red gingham through the white fabric. But otherwise, I love this. I think it's so cute, and I just really love these combinations for spring and summer. As I mentioned, I do want to get some different linings for the Peachy Picnic and the Berry Sweet, but otherwise these should all be up on my shop in the coming weeks, and I'll definitely let you all know over on Instagram. So if you're not following me already, I usually post like behind the scenes or when products first launch. So you can follow me over there. But super excited to relaunch all of these. I think they're so cute for spring and summer. Before I start my Cherry Picnic pencil case, I'm going to share with you all this fabric haul. Okay, first one here is a baby pink, and I did ask the employee if I could keep the bolts just to make it easier to store, and I was buying the rest of the fabric, so she let me keep it. This is a poly poplin, which I've never used before. I'm very limited on my types of fabrics that I've sewn with, but when I looked up fabrics that were good for clothing items, this was one of the ones that was recommended. So we'll see. I do really love the color. I think it'll be adorable for spring, and I think I might try this either with like a little matching set or shorts. You all will definitely see next week. But yeah, really excited to use that one. Next one, which I think is going to be so cute for spring, is this blue gingham with these little embroidered cherries. And how cute would this be as a little blouse or maybe even a dress with a tie back or tie straps? I love this. I think it is adorable. And I did restock on some of my spring fabrics for the most popular ones. You all seem to really love the Lavender Picnic and the May Flowers. So I did go ahead and restock on all of those. Next fabric I got is this striped linen. I purchased Sydney Graham's Lane Pant pattern, and she recommends using linen. So I got this one, and I also purchased a skirt pattern that I think this could be cute on as well. But I think linen is just really good for pants because it's durable, it's structured, but still breathable. So I got that one. They didn't have a whole lot to choose from, so I just gravitated towards this one out of the ones they had. More restocks for the May Flowers, Lavender Picnic. And then here's just some extra of the gingham with the embroidered cherries, which I love. I cannot wait to see how that's gonna look as a top. Not only was the fabric on sale, but so was Fiskar. So I did go ahead and pick up these thread snips. I feel like this is gonna be so much easier to trim all the threads instead of the scissors I've been using. But that is my mini little fabric haul. I cannot wait for this weekend or for next week's video for you all, and to try and sew some of these clothing items. Okay, let me break out my cutting mat again and we can make this cherry picnic pencil case. Back on and heating up. I just want to give another huge thank you to everyone who's ordered for my spring collection. It truly means so much to me, and I'm so happy a lot of you are really loving the pencil cases. I've had some great feedback, so I am thrilled that you all are loving them. I was a bit nervous because I'd never launched those, so I didn't know how they would do, and it seems you all are really loving them. So can't wait to see how the cherry picnic one is going to look. So once that gets done heating up, I can iron out all of the pieces and my medium weight interfacing. It is now 6:35, so I've already been sewing for an hour. I've had some comments from people who said that my projects are actually inspiring them and giving them ideas on what to sew, which is so cool, especially because I honestly still feel like a beginner, but I love that I am now inspiring a bunch of people to start sewing. I'm gonna go ahead and quilt these outer pieces and then attach my logo. Course, one of the neighbors has a lawn crew here now, so that's great timing. I'm not showing like a ton of the pencil case making process just because I have made these in all of my previous videos. So if you want to see like a whole video of me sewing pencil cases, I think it's titled like Sew With Me. So if you want to see a whole video of this, you can definitely go check that out. But I've clipped together the remaining pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and sew all of this. Then I need to prep my zipper pulls. Okay, all of that is attached. I'm gonna go ahead and create my zipper pulls. So another book series that I ordered, which will actually be here tomorrow, is Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series. So if any of you have read that, let me know your thoughts. I know he is highly recommended for people that like high fantasy books. So I'm excited to start that. I know he has a ton of books, so if I end up liking this series, I'll have a whole collection of his books to read. I'm curious if any of you fellow readers set reading goals, like if you do the little goal thing on Goodreads. For last year and this year, I set my reading goal to 50, and then last year I think I read 40 or like 45, so I almost made it, but I had such a horrible book slump from like October through December. But this year, I think I've already read 14, so doing pretty good. But I need to finish this pencil case because we are kind of losing light if you can't tell in the video. But I have my zipper pull, so what I've been doing is just prepping a really long piece, so that way I can kind of just cut out a bunch and not have to do them one by one. So I'm gonna sew this and then cut out my zipper pulls for the pencil case. there's my finished Cherry Picnic pencil case. I think it turned out adorable. And then of course the matching book sleeve, which I will end up doing a white lining for the pocket. But I love these. I think they are perfect for spring and summer. I know we did not sew very much in this video, but it is already 7:30 and you may be able to tell it's quite a bit darker and I'm starving. I have not had any dinner. But stay tuned for next week where we're going to be sewing some spring clothing. I bought a bunch of different patterns and I'm going to try and get to as much as I can. But thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!